to make sure nobody's in the picture. I think your toes were in the show last time. But not today. All right, so let's start. We'll sit down and warm up the joints. Although it feels warmer today than it's been, but it's still
damp.
It's still damp, yeah. Okay. All right, so let's start with the feet. And we're gonna extend the heels out away from the torso. Bending the knees a little bit, a little softness in the knees there. And then we're gonna point and flex. Excellent. All right, release that one, and then we're gonna do circles around with the ankles. You can do one at a time, both together or opposites. Go in both directions. Some movement going on in there. Excellent. All right, release that. You can check it out at any time. And then supinate and pronate. So the sole of the foot comes in towards the center and then pinky toe towards the shoulder side. Back and forth like that. You can do them together or opposites or one at a time. Excellent. All right, release that, shake it out, and then we'll finish off with windshield wipers. Excellent. And release and shake it out. All right. So you can keep your legs out straight if you like, or sit cross-legged. All right. And then let's move up to the wrist. So we're going to send the arms out, tuck the thumb, wrap the fingers, and make circles with the wrist. Excellent. Getting into the elbows and the shoulders. Both directions. Excellent. All right, release that, shake it out. We're going to bring the palms together, interlace the fingers, and make figure eights. Excellent. We're going to pause, pull hands apart, switch which fingers on top. Excellent. All right, release that and shake it out. All right, let's do the neck and the shoulders, and then we'll do something after that. All right, so sitting up nice and tall, inhale. On the exhale, drop the chin down to the chest. On the inhale, looking up, just as far as is comfortable, and then exhale, bring it all the way back down. Inhale, looking up, and exhale, back down. Nice. Inhale one more time. And exhale all the way back down. Nice. Inhale back to neutral. And then we're going to go ear to shoulder. So sitting up nice and tall again. Exhale, first side, ear to shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, center. Exhale, back to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Nice. Inhale, back to center. One more time, each side. Exhale to that first side again. And then if you want, you can bring that same arm out and over, resting on that side of the head, making space between the ear and shoulder, breathing into any tension that you're finding. Excellent. When you're ready to come out, inhale. Head comes up nice and slow. Release the arm. Exhale to the other side. That same arm comes out and over, resting on the side of the head. Inhale into any tension that you're finding. Exhale, release the tension with the breath. Excellent. When you're ready to release, inhale, head comes back up to center, and release the arm. Excellent. Last one with the neck. Inhale, looking straight ahead. Exhale, chin towards the shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the second side. Inhale, center. Exhale, back to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Nice. Inhale, center one more time, each side. Exhale to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Nice. Inhale, back to center. And then let's finish off with the shoulders here. We're going to inhale forward and up. Exhale, down and back. Excellent. And then reverse direction, inhale back and up. Exhale, down and forward. Excellent. And then when you're ready, a couple more either direction or straight up and down. Last one. Nice. And release. All right. Let's do a breath, and then we'll do some more work on the spine to start here. All right. So let's see. Let's do the lymphatic one. So coming into holiday season, spending more time traveling or with friends and family, exchanging more germs, maybe clearing out that immune system can help you from building it up. Okay, so we're gonna do 3 rounds of 10. So take 2 regular breaths to start. So just inhale through the nose, exhale out through the nose, just your regular breath. Excellent. Okay, so this breath is a soft inhale, hard exhale out through the nose. So it's kind of like a pump. So it kind of pumps that, that system. All right, so we're going to do 10 breaths, take a pause, do 10 breaths, take a pause, and finish with 10 breaths. Okay, so here we go. So nice soft inhale, exhale. Excellent, and release, take a breath or so. And then second round, soft inhale, exhale. Nice, and release. Take a nice, soft, relaxing breath. And we'll go one more round. Nice, soft inhale, and exhale. Excellent. Release that. Take 2 regular breaths. If you want, you can close your eyes. Inhale and exhale out through the nose. Excellent. All right. Release that, and then let's do our spine warm up here. So if you're sitting cross-legged, you can bring your hands under the knees. If your legs are out straight, you can bring your hands under the thighs. We're going to start with our exhale, cat. And then inhale, looking up, rounding the spine forward for our cow. And then exhale back to cat. And then just back and forth at your own pace, following the breath. Excellent. And one more in each direction. Nice. And then coming back to center. All right, next we're going to do our laterals. So one hand down on the floor. We're going to inhale, one arm up. And then exhale, bring it back. Second side, inhale. And exhale. As you kind of warm the body up, you might go a little deeper. But since this is kind of the first bit of moving that we're doing, just be gentle. Excellent. And let's do one more time each side. Nice. And back to center. All right. Let's do our little gentle twist here. Sitting up nice and tall on the inhale. On the exhale, we're going to go to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. So we're not trying to pull really hard. We're just getting a little bit of movement in that twist. Excellent. One more time each side. And then coming back to center. All right, so if your legs aren't out straight, let's go ahead and bring them out in front. And we're going to do a couple of forward folds here. All right, so we're going to use our friend gravity. Inhale, bring the arms up, and then exhale, hinging at that hip joint. Fold forward on the exhale. Tap down wherever you reach, and then inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, fold forward. Tap down, inhale, bring it back up. Excellent. Exhale. Tap, inhale, come back up. Then we're going to go down one more time. Exhale, grab the legs wherever you reach. We're going to pull the chest forward. Exhale, pull the belly button in. Round the spine if that's comfortable. Drop the chin. And then see if you can relax the backs of the legs. Excellent. When you're ready to come out, we're going to extend the arms over the legs. Push the legs into the floor. Inhale. Coming up. Exhale and release. Awesome. All right. So next we're going to come up to hands and knees. If you want something under your knees, like a blanket or a towel, go ahead and grab that. And let's start with cat and cow. So we're going to exhale cat, inhale cow. Exhale cat, inhale cat. Nice. On the next one, exhale cat, inhale cow, and then we're going to add child's pose. So exhale cat down to child's pose. And then inhale, you can come up on the forearms, up through the forearms to cow. Exhale cat down to child's pose. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, coming up. And exhale back down. Nice. Take a breath or so here in your child's pose. And then let's come back up to our table position. And we're going to do, let's do spinal balance next. All right, so we're going to extend one leg back. You can have toes on the floor or that leg can be horizontal. And we're going to extend the opposite arm. So you can bring the elbow and the knee together on the exhale, or you can just hold the stationary pose. Excellent, and then release. And then going to the other side, you can start with the toes on the floor or leg can be horizontal. Extend the opposite arm forward. Keep the breath going. Option to bring the knee and the elbow together. Excellent. And then release that side. Next, we're going to do a gate pose. So we'll start with low gate pose. We're going to bring one foot out to the side. And then on your next inhale, we're going to bring this arm up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, bring it back down to the floor. 2 more times. Inhale, arm comes up. And exhale, back down. Nice. Last time. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent. All right, tuck that knee back under. Other foot comes out to the side. And 3 on the side. Inhale, hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale back. Second time, inhale. And exhale. And last one. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent. All right, tuck that knee under, and then we're going to come up to a high kneel and do tall gate pose. All right, so let's start with that left foot out again, or whichever side, doesn't matter. Do both sides. This hand can be on the hip or down that leg, and then we're going to take the opposite arm, inhale, bring it up, and then exhale, bring that hand towards the opposite foot. Inhale, vertical. Exhale, over. Nice. Inhale up, and one more time over, exhale. Inhale, bring it up, and then exhale, release that arm. All right, you tuck that knee under, send the other foot out. Hand on the hip or down that leg. Inhale, bring this arm up, and then exhale, bring that hand towards the opposite foot. Inhale, vertical. Exhale, over. Inhale, up. And one more time. Exhale, over. Inhale, up. Nice. Exhale, bring that arm down. From here, If you want, you can come down to come back up, but the other thing you can do is walk that knee in front and then bring your hands to that knee and push up to stand. If you have an easier way to come up, that's fine too. Just want to give you options. All right. So we made it, we're all vertical. All right. Next, let's do, we're gonna do our balance, our moving balance poses, and then we'll do warrior one. All right, so first order of business, we're gonna do palm tree pose. To break it down, you can just come up on the toes. You can just lift the arms, or when you're ready, put it all together. Inhale up on the toes, arms come up. Exhale down. If this is super easy today, if you want to make it more difficult, you can stay up on the toes for an extra breath. If this is too much, you can use the wall or a chair. Do one arm at a time. All about the options. Excellent. All right, we'll finish off with one more. Nice. All right. Shake it out. And then let's do our other one. We're going to do 2 rounds of Karate Kid. Well, the second one isn't really Karate Kid. Flying crane, whatever you want to call it. So let's do the first one. Let's do crossbody. So we'll start with the arms out to the side. We're going to lift one knee up, touch it with the opposite hand, and back down. Excellent. All right. One more time each side or finish off evenly. And release. All right. Second version of this, which it isn't really the same, but we're still kind of doing the knees. We're going to extend both arms straight out. And I will let you go as fast as you want on this one. Just don't fall over. Usually I don't like you to go too fast, but this one, go for it. All right. So knee up as high as you can towards the arm. All right, one more time each side and release. I don't want to get too sweaty. All right, what did I say after this? Warrior one. All right. So we're going to turn one foot out, step the other foot forward. And we're going to warm up the knees first. You can have hands on your hips or down by your side. Inhale, straight leg, exhale, bend. Excellent. Then we're going to push off, step back or step that back foot forward. Turn that foot out, step the second foot forward. Inhale, straight leg, exhale, bend. Aiming for that second and third toe. I didn't say that on the first side, but you guys remember by now, maybe. Excellent. And then push off, step back, or step that back foot forward. And then let's add the arms. Let's do 2 rounds. That kind of day. Gotta get the blood flowing. All right, first foot in front. And we're gonna start with cactus arms. All right, ready? Here we go. So we're gonna inhale, bend at the elbows, bend that front knee, exhale back. Excellent. Let's do one more. Nice. And then step back or step forward. Turn that foot out. Second foot comes in front. And here we go. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent. One more. Nice. All right, we're gonna step the feet back together. And then let's do, we'll do regular arms for that. So we'll go back to that first side. If you have any shoulder issues and you want to stick with the cactus arms or hands at the heart, that is also an option. All right, here we go. So we're going to inhale, bend that front knee, arms come up. Exhale back. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent. And let's do one more. Nice. Step the feet back together. Turn that foot out. Second foot in front. And here we go. Inhale, arms up, and that front knee. Exhale back. Excellent. And let's do one more. All right. Step off or step that back foot forward. All right. So I'm going to turn my mat sideways to do some wide-legged business here. For you guys, 2 options. You can do the narrow edge of your mat like this. Or turn sideways on your mat for wide legs. Okay, I didn't get blocks out, but if you have a blanket or a towel, you can roll it up and use that as a block. Or I can get you a chair if you don't want to go down that far. That's an option too.
Does somebody need a block?
Thank you.
Does anybody need a block? Okay, looks good. Okay. Yogi secret here. It's going to be harder to reach the floor if your legs are closer together. So the further apart you can go, the closer you over to the floor. But don't do anything that's not balanced. If that feels too wobbly, bring the legs in closer. All right. Guys ready? So let's start with, we're going to start with pinwheels. So we're going to bring the arms out to the side. We're going to take one hand on the exhale. We're hinging at those hips and touch the opposite leg. Wherever you reach, knee, shin, ankle, inhale, come back up. And then exhale, other side. Again, wherever you reach. Excellent. One more time each side or finish off evenly. Excellent. Release the arms. You can step the feet back together. Shake them out. Check out the arms. All right, so back to wide legs. And then we're gonna do rainbow pose, which is our big twist. So we'll start with the hinge first. So inhale, and then exhale, hinge at the hips. If you have a block or a blanket and you wanna use that instead of dangling, you can do that. All right, first side, we're gonna inhale, bring that arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it back. Second side, inhale. And exhale. Back to the first side, inhale. And exhale. Second side, inhale. And exhale. One more time, each side, inhale. And exhale, last time, last side. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent. Bend the knees. Bring the hands to the hip. We're going to come up with a straight spine. Push the feet in. Inhale. And then exhale. So you can heel toe the feet together, hop them together, shake them out. They're getting a little tired. All right, one more wide-legged here. Option to A, not do it wide leg, and B, option to do it like we usually do a half sun with arms out to the side. I'm gonna do arms straight. So we haven't done a lot of back warm up, so just be mindful of that. All right, so here we go. So we're going to inhale, arms up, exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. The hands can come to the front of the legs. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Arms come up by the ears or out to the side. Inhale. And then exhale, arms down. Two more. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Arms come up. Inhale. And then exhale down. One more, right? Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale. Coming all the way up. And exhale. Done. Nice. All right. Hop, step, heel toe. Bring the feet back. Shake them out. All right, let's do tree pose. All right, I'm like right on where the old building meets the new building. So I'm gonna come over to this side where it's flatter, not on the hill. All right, so one foot is gonna get rooted into the floor, heel of the other foot above the ankle. So we're gonna check in with this hip first, nice and straight. Activating all the muscles around that hip joint. Hands at the heart. Inhale, bring the arms up. Options with the arms. So you can do power pose, index fingers pointing up. You can do a Y, T. What's the other one? Oh, moving the arms with the breath. So whatever you like, I'm going to do a Y. If you have your balance you want, you can bring that foot up higher. Pushing the foot into the leg, opposing forces. But most important, breathing. If you fall out of your tree pose, know that you can always just come right back in. And then when you're ready, coming out nice and gracefully. Check out the legs. All right. Other side, heel above the ankle. Check in with your hip, nice and straight. Hands at the heart. We're gonna inhale, grow our branches. You can do power pose, Y, T. Move the arms with the breath. Gonna do the Y. Let's see. You have your balance you want. You can bring that foot up higher. If you don't, that's okay. Keeping the breath going. Excellent. And then when you're ready, coming out nice and gracefully. Awesome. All right, check it out. Oh, let's do one more. Well, I got two more for you. Okay. Careful what you ask for. All right, here we go. So we're going to do cowboy, which is star and horse. Horse is also known as goddess. Just thought you needed to know that today. All right, so toes pointing out at an angle. And we're going to start with the inhale breath. So we're going to bring the arms up into our star. We have not done a lot of back bends, so don't look up too high towards the ceiling, maybe just a little bit up. Otherwise, we're smushing. That's the technical term for the cervical spine. All right, and then on the exhale, we're going to bend the knees, bend the elbows. If you want, you can bend the wrists. Ooh, I just thought of something else to add. Inhale, we're going to come back up to star. And exhale, back down to horse. Excellent. Inhale up. And then exhale down. We're going to bring the hands to the knees, and we're going to do a twist. So we're going to bring one shoulder towards the opposite knee. Inhale, bring it back up. And then exhale, other side. Shoulder towards the knee. Inhale up. Exhale here, and then we'll inhale up. And exhale and release. Awesome. All right, check it out. And then we're going to do everybody's favorite squat fold. All right. I'm going to put in a contest to rename that, but for now, that's what they're called. All right. So we do arms up, and then exhale, fold, inhale, come up, and then exhale, squat. We'll do 3. Here we go. So we're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, soften the knees as you come down. Inhale, come back up. And then exhale, you can bring the hands to the heart, and then squat. You don't have to go all the way down. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring it back up. Keep those knees nice and soft. Exhale, squat. Again, don't go further than you can't get back up. Inhale. Last set. Exhale. Fold forward. Inhale, bring it up. And hallelujah, last squat. Exhale. And inhale. And release. Nice. All right. You guys are still here. You can't run for the door. All right. So let's do our warrior 2. So one foot's going to be in the front, the other foot's in the back, 90 degrees-ish. If you don't like where your feet landed, you can adjust them. Hands at the heart, arms open out to the side. We're going to bend that front knee over that front ankle. And then gazes over those front fingers. Take a couple breaths here. Relax the shoulders a bit. Extend out with the fingertips. And then let's see, we'll take an inhale. On the exhale, side angle pose. This forearm can come down to that front thigh. Back hand can be on the hip, hand up towards the ceiling, or that bicep over the ear. On your next inhale, we're going to windmill around, bring that front arm up towards the ceiling, peaceful warrior. Exhale back to side angle pose. And then inhale, peaceful warrior. Excellent. One more time through side angle pose. And last, peaceful warrior. Nice. So let's come back to warrior 2. And we'll drop the arms and step the feet back together. All right, hands at the heart, arms open out to the side. Bend that front knee over that front ankle, fingers out in front, gazes over those front fingers. Relax the shoulders, extend the fingers out. Excellent, we're gonna bend that front elbow, side angle pose. That hand can be on the hip, hand towards the ceiling, or bicep over the ear. Inhale, windmill round 2, peaceful warrior. And exhale back to side angle pose. Excellent. Inhale again, peaceful warrior. And last time through, side angle pose. And inhale, peaceful warrior. Nice. Back to warrior 2. We'll drop the arms and step the feet back together. Awesome sauce. All right, shake it out. All right, so another good balance / knee strengthener is our high lunge. So let's do a high lunge. Let's see, how do I do it? So we're gonna start, we're gonna step 1 foot forward. And then on the inhale, we're bring the arms up. You can do cactus arms or arms straight up. I'm gonna do cactus arms. That back foot can be up on the toes, or if that's a little wobbly, heel in towards the center. And then let's try this. We're gonna exhale and push off and step back. Let's see if you got that one. Okay, excellent. All right, let's do that 2 more times. Step forward, inhale, bring the arms up. Straight up or cactus arms. And then exhale, step back. Nice, and one more time. Step forward, inhale, bring the arms up. And exhale back. Nice. All right, let's try the other side. Probably will be different than the first side. All right, we're gonna step forward, inhale. And then exhale, step back. Nice, all right. Second time, inhale. And exhale. One last time, let's go. Step forward, inhale. And then exhale, excellent, all right. Shake it out. I invite you to come into a squat. I'm gonna flip my mat sideways, and then we're gonna come down and sit on the floor. So if you don't wanna do a squat, or I can also show you this, if you're struggling to get the heels down on the floor, if you don't care, then don't worry about it. But you can always put a blanket or a towel under the heels. Excellent. You guys are already all down. Just sitting here. Woo! In the little spot. All right. Coming down ever so gracefully. All right. Let's do our open and close twist. So we're going to bend the right knee and extend that left leg, left arm over that left leg. On the inhale, we're going to extend that arm up. Really feel that whole spine stretch up with that arm. And then exhale the arm in front or behind that right knee. Right hand behind the spine pushes it up. Inhale. Exhale, turn it towards that back wall. Take a couple breaths here. That left leg can be relaxed. Excellent, and then we're going to unwind, extend that left arm over that left leg, open twist, Gaze follows the thumb. Excellent, and then we'll bring it back to center and release. Switch legs, extend that right leg, bend that left knee, right arm over that right leg. Inhale, lift, feel that whole spine extend. Exhale in front of or behind that left knee. Inhale, lift, exhale, turn and look towards that back wall. And again, that right leg can be relaxed. Excellent, and then release. Open twist, gaze follows the thumb, inhale, open. So you don't want your arm to go past where you can see the thumb. Nice, one more breath here. And then exhale, bring it back. And release. All right, so let's come back onto the spine. So feet up at the top of the mat, hands on the knees. You're gonna roll back onto the spine. And then starting with Apanasana. And let's do one-legged Apanasana to start here. All right, so one knee in, we're gonna exhale, bring the knee in, inhale, foot comes to the floor. Second side, exhale, knee in, inhale, foot to the floor. Excellent. One more time each side or finish off evenly. Nice. All right. Next, let's do a bridge pose in here. So let's see. We're just going to do regular. So arms up, hips up. So start with the arms down by your side. Knees, heels, and hip joints are lined up. On your next inhale, push the feet into the floor, lift the hips up, arms come up overhead to the floor above you. Exhale, arms back down, hips back down. Let's do a couple more. Inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, arms down, hips down. Excellent. Two more. Inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, arms down, hips down. Nice, last one. Inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, arms down, hips down. Nice. All right, next we're gonna bring both knees in to the chest. On the inhale, arms up, feet up towards the ceiling. If you want, you can point and flex the feet. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Do two more, and then we're gonna do something very fun. Inhale, arms up, feet up. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Last one like this. Inhale, arms up, feet up, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. All right, so we're gonna do L's and V's. So we're gonna do similar to what we just did. Legs go up, arms overhead, but we're gonna move the width of the legs away and then back up. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna inhale, arms up, feet up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Inhale, open, the legs go a little wider. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Inhale, open, legs a little wider into that V. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Let's do one more as wide as is comfortable. And then exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Open again, not quite as wide. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Next increment, inhale, legs a little closer. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. And then last one, legs up straight, arms overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Nice. All right, if you want, you can rock side to side. Release a little tension there. All right, so we're gonna do a twist and then we'll start our counter pose cool down. All right, so left foot comes to the center of the mat. We're gonna cross the right leg over the left. Arms out into T, we're gonna drop both knees to the left. And your head can turn left, center, or right. Excellent. Inhale, bring the knees up to center. Exhale, drop them to the right. Same cross, and then head can turn left, center, or right. Excellent. Inhale, knees to center. Uncross the legs. Right foot comes to the center. Cross that left knee over the right. We're going to drop both knees to the left. And you can look left, center, or right. Excellent. Inhale, knees to center. Exhale, drop the knees to the right. And head can look left, center, or right. Nice. All right. When you're ready, inhale the knees to center. We're going to uncross. And let's come into our last Apanasana. Options, one leg at a time, regular, or I'm going to do knees are wide, so wide-legged Apanasana. We did a lot of wide-legged stuff today, so this may feel great or it may not. So you can pick one of the other ones if this is too much today. So exhale, knees in, inhale, knees out. Excellent. And then when you're ready, feet come back down to the mat. Knees can stay bent, feet in the mat, or extend the legs all the way straight out. We're going to do one more here, our palm tree pose arms. Arms start down by your side, and we're going to inhale, arms up overhead to the floor above you. Exhale, arms back down by your sides. Inhale. And exhale. Finish the one you're on and do two more. Excellent. And then release the arms back down by your sides. Maybe away from the torso a little. You can tuck the shoulder blades under if that's comfortable. And then releasing the legs and the feet away from each other. If it's more comfortable to have bent knees, feet on the mat, you're welcome to do that. And anything else you need to do to get comfortable for your final relaxation pose. Getting any last little wiggles out. And let's do a full body relaxation, walking up the body, relaxing each part as we go. Starting with the feet. Release the toes. Relax the tops of the feet, the soles of the feet, and the heels. Release the ankles. Relax the calves and shins. Release the knees and the space behind the knees. Relax the tops of the thighs and the backs of the thighs. Relax and make space in those hip joints. Let the pelvis be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the abdomen. Release the rib cage and let go of breath. Let the shoulders be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the upper arms, elbows, and lower arms. Release the wrists. Relax the hands, fingers, and palms. Relax the throat and the back of the neck. Release the jaw. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thoughts seep out the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe you. Take the next few moments and just be. Gently coming back into awareness. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. If you'd like, you can roll your head side to side. When you're ready, and with an inhale, rolling over onto your right or left side. You can use that lower arm as a little headrest. Take a nice full breath here. And then when you're ready, and again with an inhale, pushing up to a comfortable seated position. And to bring breath back into the body and find us safely on our way. Let's finish with sun breath number 3. All right, palms together, elbows together. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. 3 times. Already, here we go. Inhale, open. Exhale, closed. Again, inhale, open. Exhale, closed. And one last time, inhale, open. Exhale, closed. Palms together, hands to the heart, and namaste. Thank you guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Have a marvelous.
Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.